Are we having fun now?
Good night, Andy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dave Cave. I, as always, am Dave. Now, before we get started, stay on top of all things horror and heroes as it comes fresh out of the Dave Cave. Hit that subscribe button. Today we are talking yet another iconic slasher that is getting run through the whole remake treatment with Child's Play. It was directed by Lars Klevberg, stars Gabriel Bateman as Andy Barkley, Aubrey Plaza as Karen, the mother, which I wasn't too sure about, but we'll talk about her, and Mark Hamill provides the voice of the man, the myth, the legend, Chucky. This iteration of the Child's Play story has a little bit of a different how and why Chucky gets from point A to point B, ending up with the Barkleys. But once he ends up with the Barkleys and he and Andy start to bond, that bond is really what causes hell for everybody. Really everybody. Right off the bat, I'm going to talk two things that I went into the film pretty apprehensive about. The first of which is Aubrey Plaza as Karen Barkley. Now, I like Aubrey Plaza. Overall, she gives me a good laugh. But she also feels kind of like a one-trick pony. She plays this snide, snarky, kind of lovable bitch kind of all over the place. So I was very interested to see if she was going to be able to pull off the single mother, loving mother of Andy Barkley. I will say right now that she does. There is still hints of that snide, snarky, kind of bitchy character, but that's what you kind of bring Aubrey Plaza in to do. So she pulls that off fine. I very much bought into the dynamic between Andy and Karen. I got it. They absolutely nailed it. Those two together have great mother-son chemistry. I love the relationship. Very well done. I was very surprised. Thank you, Aubrey Plaza. As for the second thing that I was apprehensive about, that would be Mark Hamill's voice as Chucky. Now, I was worried that we were going to get a lot of Joker. Something Chucky is known for is his laugh. The way Brad Dourif hits the laugh, I was very curious to see how and if they were going to go about that. I'm glad that they didn't. I'm glad that they let Mark Hamill do what he was going to do with the character. There are moments where you hear the Joker. Very quick moments. But you're going to get that because it is a voice actor doing the same voice, and he is not completely changing his voice. He sounds like Mark Hamill doing a bit of a change on his own voice, which is good and it's fine. It's also to be noted that his voice is the only voice that's used for the Buddy doll for every iteration of the Buddy doll in this film. Unlike in the original Child's Play where you have the, "Hi, I'm Chucky, wanna play?" And then you have Brad Dourif, the Chucky. You get the same Chucky through the whole entirety of the film. That also said, I'm glad that they didn't try to let Mark Hamill do Brad Dourif. It is very much Mark Hamill doing his own Chucky, and it is very much to their own benefit. Well done, Mark. While we're at it, we are going to talk the third of the trifecta with Gabriel Bateman's Andy Barkley. Gabriel Bateman nails this role. He hits all the tones of the loner that nobody believes, kind of wants to be alone, doesn't really know where he fits in the world. He has a mom who has this kind of asshole boyfriend, but then he has this doll, and this doll that gives him all the attention really that he needs, at least to start. And they really start to bond. You buy into that Andy needs this doll that he gets. Doesn't need it, but the attachment that it provides for him helps him blossom as a person and as a character. And it's that performance of Andy Barkley that allows the Andy-Chucky bonding to really take shape and really grow as the backbone of this movie. Now, you might be wondering, Dave, is there anything you didn't like about this film? Yes, there's plenty. We're going to get to it, but right now, let's keep happy. Hold on. In talking about all the problems that the bond between Chucky and Andy brings to the world, we are absolutely going to dig right now into the kills. Because, damn, this Child's Play has some really solid kills. And they sometimes are very, very gruesome. Like, holy shit gruesome. Like, make you cringe in your seat gruesome. But it works. It really does. Because really every kill is kind of a plot device. That's something I really liked about this film, is you have these kills, and there's not a lot of them. There's a handful of them, which when you compare them to some of the later entries of the original storyline, it doesn't match up. But every kill in this story drives the story forward a little bit more, has a little bit more impact on the Andy-Chucky bond, and really pushes Andy away from really everyone else in his life. He doesn't necessarily get framed the same way he does in the original, but the kills matter. They aren't just one-off cannon fodder kills, mostly. For those of you that have seen it, which was your favorite kill? Hit the comments below. Let me know. I'm still trying to figure mine out. It's between two. Now that we have talked about a bunch of stuff that I liked about this film, let's bring it down a notch and talk about the stuff that really didn't land with me. The first of which is the how around how Chucky comes to be Chucky. They deal with it right away in the movie, but for me, it felt a little bit too much. Like, you didn't need to go into that much detail as to how and why this smart doll possibly is malfunctioning. It could have been just as easy as, boom, oh shit, we dropped it. Yeah, it's kind of got red, kind of blue eyes. That's fine. Ship it anyway. Who gives a shit? You really could have gotten away with that because you have so many smart devices these days that malfunction for the dumbest ass reasons. Like, really for the dumbest ass reasons. You can bump your phone, crack it, and then it's a brick. You can have something be that simple. They didn't have to go that hard. It's fine that they did. Just didn't land with me. I thought it was pretty dumb. And the next thing I had a problem with, which could be considered by some to be a big problem, is really the last quarter of the film. Again, I'm not going to go into plot details as to how or why, but just know that for the last quarter of the film for me, that's when it really started to come apart at the seams. Some choices were made with how the film was going to go. I hoped it wouldn't go a certain way. It kind of did, and they kind of leaned on a certain way of telling the story that I wasn't too keen with. It's fine overall. It plays out perfectly fine in terms of the storyline, but I really didn't like it. That's not to say at all that I walked out of the film disappointed. Really not at all. Because for the first 3/4 of the movie, I was in. I was invested in these characters. To give you an idea, the stuff that I brought with me, the snacks and the drinks that I had with me, half of it was still there by the last chunk of the movie. That doesn't happen in most movies, really at all. I was in. The movie had me in. Absolutely. But when it got to the last quarter, it didn't lose me, but it definitely weakened for me. Not a ton, but just enough to have to note it. Now to ask the question that I love to ask myself, would I put it up on the wall? Right now I would say absolutely. It is a solid entry as a Child's Play retelling. It's not necessarily a reboot or really a remake. It takes kind of the framework of the idea and takes it in a modern new direction, which more slasher remakes could take a note from Child's Play and to take the bare bones of it and build the meat around it. That's what this film does. It takes the story and it tells it in a different way that's different enough to be its own thing, but similar enough to still be able to be Child's Play. It gets kudos for that. So absolutely, it's going on the wall when I get it. If you go into this movie thinking that you are going to watch a replica of 1988, you are going to leave the movie absolutely disappointed. This is very much a movie set in 2019, and if you go into this movie expecting a movie that is set in 2019 for the way they are trying to tell the story, you will enjoy yourself more than you probably expected to. And if you are wondering where I would rank this in all 8 of the Child's Play films, you're going to have to wait. The ranking is coming. What about you? Where would you rank this in terms of the other Child's Play films? Top? Bottom? Middle? It's got to be better than Seed. It's better than Seed. Don't even try it. Hit the comments. Let me know what you think. And while you are down there, I have links to my other Child's Play reviews in the description below. Be sure to go check those out, as well as my Instagram and Twitter, both of which are at @thedavecave_. I post over there when I am not posting here. Alright, well that is going to do it for me today, folks. Thank you so much, as always, for stopping by the Dave Cave. See y'all real soon, but until then, take care.